Creativity. Everyone knows that creativity is important, that advances happen through creativity, new products, new services, new ways of marketing, ways of cutting costs require creativity. But where does it come from? Sometimes we think it's some sort of natural talent which some people have and others can only envy. You're creative or you're not creative. Indeed, sometimes creative people feel that they're the only ones who can be creative. This is simply not true. Creativity is a skill which everyone can learn. It is true that some people might be better than others, just like everyone can play tennis, but some people are better than others, or skiing. Creativity is a skill. That is what we call lateral thinking. The brain forms patterns. Patterns, routine ways of doing things, routine ways of looking at things. Lateral thinking means moving across the tracks. And when you move there, in hindsight, you can see it's perfectly logical. It's based on an understanding of the brain as a pattern-making system which makes asymmetric patterns. And there are different tools which can be taught. There's challenge, where we challenge the existing concept or idea. There's concept extraction, where we find the concept and then find new ways out of it. There's provocation, very powerful. We set up a provocation and we move forward from that to a new idea. Then there's random entry, where we enter at a different point. All these are logically based on the behavior of asymmetric patterns. Now that sounds complicated, but these tools are not complicated to use. Now, using just one of these tools, one afternoon, a workshop in South Africa produced 21,000 new ideas for a company. So they're very powerful. It's not a matter of just sitting around and waiting for new ideas to happen. You can actually take steps. It's like maths. You can learn maths, you can learn lateral thinking, you can learn creative thinking, and you can use and apply it deliberately. Of course, the more you practice, the better you get at it, but it's not a complex matter, and it is effective and powerful. And it goes way beyond traditional brainstorming. Traditional brainstorming is a very weak process. It's in the right direction, of course, but just by suspending judgment, that's not nearly enough. There are these formal techniques which produce, generate ideas, don't just wait for ideas to happen. So lateral thinking, as I say, is a skill. For the first time in history, we can now treat idea creativity, the ability to produce ideas, as a formal skill which can be learnt, practiced, used deliberately. And I emphasize that deliberately. It's very different from just sitting and hoping and waiting that someone somewhere has an idea. No, you can sit down and deliberately generate ideas, a large number of ideas. So lateral thinking is a usable, learnable skill.